What's up, my friend? What's up, what's up, what's up, what's up? I see there's 3 of you today. You're starting good. I feel like every day we get 1 new viewer. Ooh, 4. Let's go. Let me know where you're from. Let me know how you're doing. It's a Tuesday afternoon. Probably the internet's most boring day. Hello, hello, hello. Livio Freschetti. Ciao. From Italy, I assume. Yes, I think you were here yesterday too, my friend. I appreciate you coming back. That's very nice of you. And then again, I'm doing the same thing that we were doing yesterday. I'm changing more strings because I want to basically, it's just like the spring cleaning, right? I'm changing the strings in most of my guitars just so that I can do a barrage of videos and not having to worry if this has old strings and this one has new strings. All of them are going to be new. All of them are going to be like seasoned enough. And let's say if I want to do like sound comparisons and stuff like that, they're going to be pretty fairly the same amount of old grime on them. Ooh, 5 people. Let's go. I thought Tuesday was going to be totally dead, but it's starting to look pretty good today. Let me know where you're coming from. Say hi in the comments. And yesterday I was trying to play some like what they would say on the internet. They said that it was copyright music, and then they turned out flagging my video for copyright because of the music, which is hilarious. So I don't know what to do about music, but it's just like boring, right? Like not having anything in the background. Let's see if I can have some music. Let's see. I have this guy right here. You guys let me know if it's better with or without the music. It might get boring, right? Like with the same music. Yeah, because this is like the music that I was thinking for the intro. Yeah, I guess with no music is gonna have to do, and let's just get to it. Thank you for being here today. We're gonna do strings on my Fender American Stratocaster Ultra. This guitar's a beast. I feel like there's like polarizing views about this guitar all over the internet. And most of it, I think it's because of the noiseless pickups. I feel like a lot of people don't like noiseless pickups. A lot of people don't like what happens when they have noiseless pickups in like their tube amps or whatever they're used to be playing. But in my perspective, I love these noiseless pickups. They sound great. They give me everything I need. They're really balanced. They're really clear. I got 0 complaints. And I do have somewhere in my closet the hot noises. And I've been very tempted to try them, but I just love this sound so much that I kind of would need another Strat if I want to try that kind of sound. But let's get to it, shall we? Let's start getting this stuff done. You know what? I don't care, honestly, if they flag my video today. I'm going to delete it after the fact. So if you guys want to say stuff that that you wouldn't do if I wouldn't delete this video, just know that I will delete it. So it's all good. You're safe. Or the video will self-destruct. Because I'm pretty sure they're going to hit me with copyright. I wish there was like an easy solution for like when you're just like live like this, that you can play different kinds of songs and music. But I cannot find that. Royalty-free music. And then it says everywhere that it's like copyright free. But then I want to say, I don't want to be like too mean to like accuse anything or anything about anybody, but I kind of want to say that these people that are claiming that their music is copyright are the same people that after the fact flag you in the copyright, because that's what I noticed. It was a little bit curious to me that the people that flagged me looked or very similar. I don't know, like it could be like a group of people. And I've heard of people on YouTube like doing this as a business. So whatever. I think they're going to flag me, but whatever. Because it literally says it right here on the tin. It says, let's see, I'm going to share with you my screen just so you guys can see. It literally says, 12 hours of copyright-free music. Free background music for YouTube videos and content creators. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the music. If you did, blah, 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 check out my other track, blah, 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 on this channel, right? I'm gonna remember this movement relaxed, or this relaxed movement, Henry KT, blah blah blah, because if this were to be the case, this would be the guys that are gonna copyright me. So I want to see what happens. See, people are saying good stuff in the comments, and I trust you guys in the comments sometimes. I know there's a lot of bots, but there's a lot of good people too. See, like, people are even giving him supers and stuff. All right. So let's hope that works, okay? But whatever, let's just keep going with this. Back to the guitar. The guitar. Anyway, I was saying that this guitar is very polarizing. Like, some people hate it and some people love it. What's funny is that most people that hate it are people that don't own it, but that go try it at the store maybe, or try it for like a couple of days or whatever, you know what I mean? People that are used to other kinds of guitars. And I know how it feels when you just got a brand new guitar and maybe you have expectations and maybe whatever you got is different, and sometimes it takes a few days for you to actually understand what the instrument does and how it feels and get used to the neck shape or whatever, and then you start realizing what a great guitar it is, right? And I feel like a lot of people, it's like this, but because most people that own an Ultra, everybody's just like raving about them because they're so good, right? Like, the neck shape is so amazing. I thought in the beginning that it was not going to be good because blah blah blah, or X and Y and Z, and then they love it. And I feel like sort of like, to me, that's exactly what happened. I mean, I bought it, and in the beginning I was just like, is this really like even better than my regular like Mexican Strat? And for a long time I felt like my Mexican Strat was, I mean, that Mexican Strat is so good. The Mexican Strats are really good, and they're even better if you're like willing to put a little bit of fret work in it, you know, like maybe learn a little bit with it or stuff, because they have a really comfortable neck for, I think, most kinds of hands, and I assume that's how they use it. But you know, they have good sound, they feel great, they look great, so sometimes it feels like you could just like get away with one of those, especially like the high tier, like the whatever plus or player plus, or it used to be like the deluxes, but now it's like the pluses. Those to me are great guitars. But then, you know, after owning like the Ultra for a while, you start realizing what the whole thing about the Ultra is, and then you go back to another Strat that you have, and then you're like, oh wow, yeah, this is way better. This really is a better guitar. Oh, that's what happened to me, because I also have the American Pro 2. And I even made a video a long time ago comparing them. And I feel like after owning them for a couple of years, my vision has not changed about it. Because I even said in that video that I feel like this is the superior guitar. But the more I use them both, the more I fall in love with this. And that's the thing. Both of them had their own charm, let's say. But this, to me, every time I play it, it's like a PRS. Like, it just feels like it's just easy to play. Butter. Wow, the chords are easy. Wow, leads are easy. Why am I not playing this guitar more often? Right? That's the question you ask yourself. And then that's how you know the guitar is good, right? And little by little, that's how this one became like my number one for the longest time. Especially when I was doing more like poppy stuff. Then I started doing a little bit more rock and bluesy stuff. So then, of course, I started favoring my humbuckers. Jorfden, my man, let's go! Back in the second day. Yes, sir. Look what I have right here. You would understand what I'm talking about. I was talking to everybody here about the love for the American Ultra. Beautiful guitars, right? And you as an Ultra owner and connoisseur, you can back me up here. That is an amazing guitar. Beautiful guitars, man. But yeah, I was just telling them, Oh, the Sunburst. What a beautiful one. That's the one that I wanted to get. Right now, I'm not going to get it, definitely. But I want one, a Sunburst with the anodized gold pickguard. I love that combination. Yeah, the pickups are, I know. See, that's what I'm saying. When somebody owns the guitar, they love it. I love the Ultra. I cannot lie. But then that's what I was saying. Like the American Pro has like its own charm, but there's a few days that you're like, oh, this guitar. Like I don't know. I feel like it moves a little bit more with like the weather too than the Ultra. Where I live, like it's not like big weather changes, but lately it's pretty dry most of the time, and all of a sudden it started raining a lot, and that was a great moment because I got to see the way that the humidity impacted each guitar differently, and in my opinion, that was like super eye-opening. You know, like just see exactly what's the humidity doing to the guitar. And how, because I have all the guitars in the same room and everything, and they are all like sort of like I want to say competing, kind of like lines. So it was really cool to see that. And I would say that the one that moved the most is the Charvel, which is weird because it has a roasted neck. That one, I feel like it's not that it moved. I feel like it hasn't stopped shrinking yet. I feel like it's almost at its best moment, but it still needs like a year more to be proper. That Charvel. This one, for example, I feel like the neck. You know how when you buy these kinds of Strats, they come with like a satin neck, and then the more you play it, it starts to like caramelize very quickly. I call caramelize this like you know that the guitar is satin, right? But it starts getting very glossy, almost like as if it has like a finish on it, right? Just because you play it, you're buffing it every day. And it's great to see that this one, it gets really glassy, really nice, really quick, as opposed to that one in the Charvel. I want to say that it maybe has to do with how long they cure these necks. It seems to me like the Ultra, they cure it a little bit longer than they cure a guitar like those Charvels. Because like I said, that one, I feel like it keeps getting better, but it's been a long time getting better. You know, it's been like 3 years getting better. 2.5 years maybe. 3 years I'd say. And that's a long time, you know, just waiting for a guitar to get better. But either way, it's a great guitar. I cannot really complain too much. I've been toying with the idea of putting my PRS pickups. Okay, let me read you, Jordan. I've been leaving you stranded over here. Yeah, the pickups are very good. We talked about that. So transparent and clear. They really are. I don't get why more companies offering... Yeah. They are. I feel like there's a lot of companies like offering compound radius right now. Even like this new... Did you see like... right now, just in 2024, so that's what I'm talking about. Like Gibsons right now, they have all these modern guitars. And I want to say, maybe not all of them, but they do have, at least the Studio, it's a compound. FGN. Are the FGNs compound? Ibanez. Is Ibanez compound? I thought they were just like 20-inch radius. But yeah, the Gibson is now compound radius. The new moderns, at least. I wonder why different guitars. I wonder if it's maybe like the amount of oil that you use when you clean them. Oh, the AZ line is compound. That's cool. Sirs are compound too, right? And like the Steven Tyler, like all those like super expensive Strati guitars, like super Strats. Is it Steven Tyler? No, it's not Steven Tyler, is it? James Tyler? I can't remember. Steven Tyler is the singer from Aerosmith, right? I can't remember. What's his name? James Tyler. I want to say it's James Tyler, yeah. Super cool dude. Super cool dude. Great looking guitars too, like super out there. Yeah, sir. But, dude, I cannot stop thinking about this. I need to look it up now. Just so I can... Let's see. Is it James Tyler guitars? Yeah, it is James Tyler. This guy's amazing guitars. Very pricey. Very pricey. I don't know. You see a Strat, right? And you're like chilling, just like hanging out. And it turns out that it's like an $8,000, $10,000 guitar. You're just like considering, you're like, oh, wow, I would love to have a guitar like this. Look at that, how beautiful it is. And then you start looking on like where to buy it. And it's like, oh yeah, it's like $9,000. Maybe $7,000. Some of them, yeah, definitely $9,000, $10,000, but. And the beast is playing. Is this guy cock? Let's see if we can play it without getting flagged.
Prashant Aswani here.
Oh wow, Prashant Aswani, what a beast.
I'm holding a James Tyler Studio Elite HD Winter NAMM 20 right in there.
Anyway, these guitars are fire. No pun intended, right? Because the name is something fire, right? Yeah, I would love to have one of these just because of the look, right? Like, what a night catcher, that thing. There's like a store around here where I live. I know, right? It's ridiculous to pay $9,000 for a guitar. Yeah, but there's a guitar shop right here where I live that sells these, and I always like to look at them at in the reverb shop, and I'm always like, wow. I wish I could just like, because they only take you by appointment, right? But I know I'm not gonna buy a $10,000 guitar, right? So I just feel like we are going to play like the James Tyler, right? And maybe let's say if I like save some money, go to buy like a PRSSC from them. But first I play the James Tyler. I don't know, I feel like weird knowing for a fact that I'm not gonna buy it, you know what I mean? Because I am not, I don't know, maybe if I were to win like a Powerball, you know, like a $1 billion Powerball, maybe I would buy a $10,000 guitar, but buying a $10,000 guitar in this day and age where the world is right now, like where, you know what I mean, with all the geopolitics happening and everything, just like boom, dropping $10,000 on a guitar just like because it looks cool. Because in the end, I think that, you know, you have to have a great guitar because, let's say, objectively, it's comfortable and it helps you play a little bit better. You can be a little bit more daring with the things you play sometimes, maybe, or you just because you feel more comfortable. You know, you're more susceptible to try things that you wouldn't otherwise. But up to a certain point, you know, there's after a certain kind of guitar, everything, you're just spending money on like how people will perceive you in the end, you know. Okay, my brother Jarpeton's back. If you think back in the days, the biggest records have been used, Fenders, yep. And I exactly what you're saying. It's not what you. And then you know what's hilarious? I'm gonna say, and I remember my dad used to tell me this when I was a kid, and he still tells me because he's just such a wise man. But he used to tell me that the things in our the things don't, this is what he used to say. Things don't give you worth, you give worth to things. And he used to say like little simple examples about like people wearing like super cheap shirts, but they were like so naturally spiffy, so people would think that they would be very expensive shirts. And you know how a lot of people spend so much money trying to get an outfit and they look like, you know, they got it out of the rack. Nothing against the rack, you know what I mean? You know what I'm trying to say. But yeah, all those are things that, in my opinion, catch my attention. So yeah, I feel like 10 grand for a guitar is, you're not buying a guitar, you're just buying like a piece of, it's like a watch, like a very expensive watch. Did you need that watch? No, but it looks cool, right? And then when that's the reason, you know, and when you're honest to yourself and everything about it, you know that that's the reason why you're getting it, then that's cool, you know what I mean? I get it. But as a work, like you're mentioning, everybody just uses like standards. It's not until like, I don't know, maybe like the 90s, I think it was, maybe when the custom shops started happening, guitar became like investments. And you know what's hilarious? That guitars are not like investments in a real sense of the word. The guitars just became investments because investors started treating them like investments and started selling it to the market like they were investments, but they're not. And there's a few deals, you know, like exactly the stock Wall Street guys enter the collector's game, exactly. But and then yeah, there's so many things into play over here, man. It's just incredible. But I can perceive a couple games happening in the guitar market right now, and a lot of it is just like gaslighting the people, you know. And a lot of people, we just drink the Kool-Aid because it's cool, you know. I'm telling you, I don't have any of these weird bugs. Like, for example, when I don't know if you've seen the interviews with, like, I'm going to say it, whatever. I'm going to lead this freaking live. But I don't know if you've seen the interviews with Kirk Hammett when they were talking about the Greenie. When the Greenie just came out, and I think he goes to Howard Stern, and they're all talking about the Greenie and how it came out and how somebody brought it to them in a hotel and blah, blah, blah. And then James is like, yeah, I don't care about any of that stuff. So, you know, he just passed it on, whatever. And then Kirk says, yeah, so the guy wanted to sell it, blah, 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 $2 million. And then he makes this face and he says, like, I would never pay $2 million. So let me tell you what happens there. I do think that he never paid $2 million. He never paid $2 million for that guitar. What happened was Kirk Hammett Holdings, or whatever his, like, whatever legal person is, decided to make a contract with Gibson that Gibson would acquire the guitar for him, or like with the key clause that they will replicate it and sell it and blah, blah, blah. So in the end, the guitar, after this many models, would pay itself, and then they would make the Epiphone version, and then they would make all these versions, and then they would start just making profit out of the guitar, and profit and profit and profit and profit out of the guitar. So the guitar was never really $2 million, but the joint venture was way more than $2 million because they're planning on making thousands of guitars with the name and the brand that Kirk Hammett is stamping on it. You know what I mean? So that's what you have to always be thinking when you're buying a guitar. No guitar is the price that these people are wanting. It's okay if they can pay it, but I feel like having like a hope and a dream of having, for example, like a Burst or something like that, it's just that, a hope and a dream. I don't feel like realistic people in this day and age should be thinking about that. Or, you know, like people like Joe, our best Joey B. I love Joe Bonamassa. Like, what a monster. Like, musically, he's a business mogul. He reinvigorated guitar playing. I mean, monster, you know, I don't talk too much about him and I don't know any of his songs or whatever, but I see his interviews and I just appreciate the guy. But awesome things that he's done. to the market, like he says, like, for example, when he bought his burst for like $6,000, you know what I mean? So when you were buying bursts for those prices, yes, that was a hope and a dream, because you're dreaming about the chase, you're dreaming about this and that. But nowadays, we are not in, this is the trust fund babies game. Only people with a trust fund are doing this purchases now. So that dream is dead. Or that's like the realistic way of seeing it. And then of course, maybe you hit the Powerball and then you get it. or like a meme stock, and then you make billions of dollars, and then it's easy for you to just drop $500,000 for a piece of wood and metal that has been broken 3 times through history, just because it got a nice color and the pickups sound pretty okay-ish. You know what I mean? But you own a burst, and you are now part of that privileged group of just a few people in the world that own it. So, you just have to be knowing what the dream is. The dream is not owning the guitar anymore. That dream is done and gone for. It's dead. It's been dead. I think. Now it's just about us buying great guitars and playing, learning how to play. I need to learn how to play eventually. The stock Wall Street guys enter the collector's game like crazy. Profit-seeking grifters enters the instant. Yep, that's right. They did the real estate business, and that's why families cannot afford houses anymore, because you're competing with $30 billion investment fund that is destined to buy. Its goal is to buy single family homes in this county, but they have $30 billion worth of money, you know what I mean? So every time they go compete with somebody and there's a bidding war, not every regular person has $200,000 to pay for a house, but every trust fund does have those extra 200,000. And then what they do is like they buy a whole neighborhood, then they do up all these houses, and then let's say they got them out of the market for 700,000, and then they put it back in the market for 1.2 million. So a house that was a month ago 700,000, the neighborhood is the same, the house is the same, they did few improvements, right? You know what I mean? And now that same house is out of nowhere, just because they control the market, because they bought all the houses, they bought all the inventory. They just choose to, this house, honestly, in this place, it's $1.2 million. This is not an $800,000. No, this is 1.2 million. And you see them talking, making those decisions, executive decisions about the pricing of the house, and they drop 100,000 like it's just like a coin. Like, what do you think? 1.1 or 1.2? And then the other person is like, no, this view, like if you see behind that tree and you put a chair right here, no, this is definitely 1.3. You know what I mean? So come on. So now these people are saying, the people, the real estate business are saying that business is about to die for them, not for us, for them. And the business is going to die because now the best business practice is to buy storage units, because all these people that used to live in single family units are needing to move away, and that they're buying out of their homes, need to put their stuff somewhere, either when they're moving or maybe because it doesn't fit in their new home because they had to downgrade because of the economy or whatever. So they say the business is that thing, I can bump the prices 3% at a time every month, because every contract is a month-to-month contract. And so nobody would feel it. And all I need to talk to is with the 25 moguls of this business all around the United States. And all 25 of us say, we're going to start at 3%, and they'd start at 3%, and every month, every new customer just pays 3%, and 3% out of $40 doesn't feel like a lot. You know what I mean? And it's incredible. It's incredible. I don't want to keep talking too much because this is a lot of stuff that I really don't know. But like I said, it's just like my conspiracy theory. Yeah, but it's not too conspirational, you know. It's like pretty based on a few things, I would say. But I would say that that's what every conspiracy theorist say, right? That they know. No, I don't know. I've seen things. Is it true that the Fender California workers are paid less than workers in fast food restaurants? I saw if Philip said it, my friend, I believe him, because Philip McKnight is one of those voices that I really value what he says about all those things about market and like the guitar manufacturing side of things, because he's got a hand in that and has 20 years of experience, so whatever he says, I think I trust him in that. And I know for a fact that there was this joke here in between people here in California that they say, what do you want your Fender to be? Made by a Mexican in California or made by a Mexican in Mexico? Because it's the same people making the guitars, and there's nothing like different. And people have said stuff about bad practices with the factory and about how they source their workers and how much they pay them. And the fact that right now, I think in the state of California, they made it that fast food restaurant people need to be paid at least $20 an hour, when I think the real minimum is maybe 15 or 17. So yeah, that would make it that yes, it's not far-fetched. So let's say Philip said it, and then what I just said, maybe it's maybe 90% probable that it is true. Okay, I'm done cleaning this fretboard. I love cleaning it. It looks so good. I love this guitar. I can't believe that I've had it for 3 years, and the fretboard, it's perfectly rolled. Every single fret, it's perfectly rounded. Like literally, I'm pressing hard against my fretboard right now. This is what's amazing about this guitar. Look, even the last one, the 22nd fret, I'm like going hard. I would, if this has a problem, it cut myself, but I already touched it and I know it doesn't. You know what I mean? Only with the Ultra I would do that. And the PRS, because they don't even have tangs. They use like binding or whatever, but you don't see the little tang. It's like almost like Schecter or like those like very expensive guitars that they just like literally put the fret on top of the fretboard and then there's wood, so there's never a tang outside of the neck. The neck is incredibly good. There you go. We have a lover. Jerfton is my Ultra lover. Okay, so let me check this neck really quick without the strings. I know that with the strings it's flat, but I want to see what happens when it doesn't have the strings on. It's flat too. Of course, I don't really trust this tool because it's too cheap and I haven't had the moment budgetarily where I can like actually prioritize a stupid purchase like this. But according to this like super cheap thing, it's pretty flat. Even after all this time and like I said, all these changes in humidity, crazy good. Okay, I want to tighten this guys up a little bit, make sure that everything is fire, because this is my number one. Let's do it with this. Now let's see. Are these all the same? Fairly. B and E are a little on the loose side, so we are gonna tighten it up a little bit. Oh, and these are okay. Flathead. This is flathead, not a Phillips. In the other guitars I have, it's a Phillips. Okay, and then E is good. B still a little. Very nice. I want to switch this like tuner tips for the Perloid because I feel like with the wide guitar it's gonna look so fire. But I, never in my priority of things, because there's way better things to do with money than spend it on dumb cosmetic things for your guitar. Especially when you're a studio rat that only you see your guitars. And like the occasional couple people that come to write a song or whatever. Okay, so let's put some strings on. Gonna be using this Paradigms, the Paradigms. I really like these. I might need to switch to the Cobalt still because this thing it's getting harder and harder to get them at a relatively cheaper price. Like everywhere, it's like $15. And then they came up with this nice package in Amazon that it's like $25 for a pair. But if you really look hard and far and wide, you still find them at the old pricing that you can get them maybe like a $10 a pop. But man, what do you, okay, let's see, how do you like the S1 switch? First position and the Ultra, the tele middle pickup sound. Do you find it comparable to a Tele? Not really. It is comparable. If you think about what it's doing, you feel like, yeah, it's doing it, but it's doing it with these pickups that sound nothing like a Tele. You know what I'm trying to say? So yes and no. Technically, you hear that it's doing it, but sonically, it doesn't sound like a Tele at all. Maybe the Ampro sounds a little bit closer to the Tele. For example, in the Ampro, I never use that bridge without the neck in it, just because it just sounds so good. Maybe if I get the time, I will plug in and open my software and maybe give you a couple examples. If not, let's make sure that the next, when I have the strings on all of them, that I show you those things. But I don't know, that Tele I have is just, it's incredible. So everything I compare it to that Tele. So definitely this sounds nothing like that Tele. I thought so as well. Yes, sir. Also, the bridge with the Strat and tremolo. Also, the bridge with the Strat and tremolo with the Strat sounding very different. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I've heard that some people mention that if you put like a metallic plate underneath the pickup. Oh, wow, I have a big piece of something in my eye. Whatever. Yeah, if you put like a metallic piece or underneath the bridge pickup, it sounds a lot more like a Tele. But I've never tried it. I've seen maybe one video on YouTube, but then I've seen this guy from Radio Shop Pickups. I think he's the one that sells them, and that guy is very good. Like all his pickups that I've heard, I don't own any, but you know, you watch videos, and I don't trust the videos in the sense to blindly think that when I get it, it's gonna sound like that for me. But when I watch a video, I know what it allows me to see, for example, limits of what the sounds are, and then I think, okay, if it has this kind of thing, I don't think with this kind of amp that he would be getting that if the guitar didn't have this situation. You know what I mean? So when I hear those pickups at Radio Shop, I feel like they sound really good. A lot of character. But you know, I like Seymour Duncan too. So, and of course I like Fender. I am a big proponent that at least if you have like a run like I do, I want to have the sound of Fender. I've tried, I feel like where my attention lives when I play guitars, it's in a very specific place. Wow, my eye. And so what I think is a Fender sound, it may not be what you think is a Fender sound, but if I don't hear it, it's not there. And that's what happens to me. For example, the other day I was playing the Jimi Hendrix psychedelic pickups from, is it Seymour Duncan that does them? Yeah, right? And wow, I was so surprised how amazing it was, right? Like the sound was so incredible. But I was just like, Bob, where's this Strat sound? I didn't hear it in my head. Of course, I was in a different place, so I didn't know the amp, I didn't know anything. But there was like a little, like a little scratchy thing that happens when you're playing your Fenders, you know. Okay, Jonathan is asking me, what can I tell you I have? Let me show it to you. It's the 75th anniversary. It's like an American Professional 2 dressed up and with custom shop pickups. But honestly, the finishing in this is way better than the finishing on my American Professional. So it does not feel like an American Professional in that sense. Like the frets are so great in this one compared to the American Professional. They're fat and chunky. When I bought my American Professional, it's because of this guitar. Because everybody was saying that the anniversary were pretty much like the American Professional. But then when I got the American Professional, they're nothing like it. These frets are nice, big, and chunky, even though they're supposed to be the same. I have both guitars, and the other ones don't feel like that. And the neck in that guy is so good. That neck, bro. You would like it too because it's a telly that is very easy to play. At least I use it with 9s. I want to try it with 10s though. But I use it with 9s, and it just sounds so good, feels so good. The neck is so comfortable. It's like so glassy. My concern in my studio, for example, is like the reason why a telly, even though I love it so much as a guitar player, I love it so much, but I don't use it as much, is because it is very hard for me to hide a telly sound. And unless the singer or the artist that I'm working with has a telly sound in their mind, I have that issue, that I cannot hide it. There goes my light. Sorry, friends. What neck shape is it? I think it's just like whatever telly D shape, C shape they're using. But it is it's a telly neck, 100%. It's nothing like a Strat neck. How can I describe it? I don't know technically what it is right now. I would have to look that up. I don't know how to describe that neck shape because, again, when I bought my Strat, I was thinking, because I feel like in paper they say that they are maybe, is it a C, a deep C shape is. Deep C is the shape. But they are both supposed to be deep C's, but one deep C Strat neck and the other one is deep C telly neck. But the fact is that in my feel, that telly is one of my favorite necks that I have. It feels incredible. It feels incredible. And the tuning stability in that beast is like incredible. It's never out of tune. It's only out of tune because my kids love to play with the tuners. So they love, every time they come to my studio, the first thing they do is they go to the guitars and start detuning them. That's their fun. But yeah, it's a beautiful neck shape. For me, because I don't have like, some people are like, no, a telly is not a telly if it doesn't have that 51 no-caster neck in it. That's not my case. I'm not that guy. I am not that guy. To me, if it feels good, it feels good. And it does. Again, my favorite guitar. My favorite neck that I have here. Just so good. I wanted the Strat to be that neck. That's why I bought it. I was like, yeah, that Strat with that neck and those frets. Oh yeah, that might be my favorite Strat ever. Because I love the color. And I was just like, yeah, if it's that color with that neck and those frets, that has to be the best Strat ever. Kids in the studio. Yep, exactly. Exactly. That's the progression. You wrote the timeline right there. Everything is like, yay! Yeah, guys, come here. Do you guys want to play guitars? Yeah, and they start playing guitars and life is beautiful. Then you make a couple videos because they look so cute playing your guitars. And then they start doing the chromatic, like the Psycho movie. Right? And they turn into little demons. What really gets me is that, especially for these videos, not for my work, because on my work I try to always touch everything, and I'm never like in a super rush, to be honest, when I'm making music. But every video I make for the channel, it's on a rush, because I cannot justify it economically, financially. So I have to like just rush so I can use the least amount of time possible so that it's sustainable for me to do it, right? So I'm always in a rush. And so a lot of times they love to come and just change all the levels in my preamps. So a lot of times I make the whole video, and then when I'm done shooting the video, I listen back to the audio, and it's like all like either like it's too hot or too quiet. It's amazing. But you know, I love my kids. I wouldn't change them for anything. They're the favorite part of my life. My family life is my favorite part of my life. As a father, as a son, as an uncle, as a husband, as a, I don't know, brother-in-law, as a cousin. I like to be that, you know, like a nice guy. Maybe not to my cousins. I neglect them. I'm naughty with them. I don't know why. Not because I want to. It's just like everybody's life is just so apart. But with everybody in my immediate family, I try to be the nicest, you know, not try too much. It's just my heart asks me to do it. So I do it. I'm nice. That's my favorite part of my life. And then, of course, I do music because music is fun. And luckily, it pays my bills. But YouTube is so far right now is just a liability. But I have so much fun, and it helps me to do things like this, for example. I wouldn't be doing this if I was not here with you guys. And honestly, I'm not gonna get like all sentimental or anything, but I sort of come to like expect a few. You like Jordan, I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. I was sort of thinking, I wonder if he's gonna show up today. Maybe you're not here right now because you know it's hard to stay so long for doing nothing, just like hanging out with me. But in case you see this, yeah. I was like, maybe Jordan is gonna show up, maybe Tiger is gonna show up, maybe Doug is gonna come say hi. You know, I have like my few group of people that I know that like to come. Fixing Benjamin. Then there's Abang Faith too. He always shows up in almost every single live stream. So I grown to like expect a few of my friends here, and I know. So okay, if I'm with these guys, I'm gonna change the strings, no problem. If not, right now I would be thinking, oh, I should be making beats. What am I doing? Changing strings. Jorge, you don't need all these guitars. But here we are. Now let's do this. The beauty of locking tuners. Bing, bing, bing. Yeah, we're here. There you go. We're here. That's the thing. So that's what I'm saying. So I feel like YouTube is something good for my mental health, even though there's so much haters. But it's cool. I like YouTube. It's my favorite social media. Most people here are like, you know, they're not just like browsing through pictures. No, they're here because they have interests. And most people use YouTube like as a learning tool. And we can all relate with that aspect of it. So it's kind of cool. I know I use YouTube like a learning tool. I learned so much from YouTube. Literally, I just think about a subject and I think, okay, let's find a few videos and see what's up. Here we are. I didn't polish the frets because honestly, this guitar doesn't really need it. I want to do it just as a practice thing, but I want to see which guitar really needs it, and then I'm going to do it with that one. Oh, another thing about that telly is that it's got the That Telecaster has the frets, I think they're lacquered over. Well, they're golden. I don't know if they're golden or if the lacquer is golden on top of them. They're golden, I don't know. They seem like gold. We'll get back to that one. Boing, boing, boing. I can't wait to read the characterization of people according to their social media. You're brewing some genius there. Oh, I remember. My E is too high, too low. I need to turn that down. Here we are. Okay, now I want to read. YouTube is for interesting people. Instagram for posers, TikTok for freaks, and Twitter for conspiracy freaks. What about what's that other one? What's the name? It's by Meta. Well, that's how relevant it is that I don't remember the name. It's like the latest that they came up. It's like a Twitter version. I honestly deleted my Twitter. Nothing against Twitter, but there was a moment that it just felt like every third post that I was watching was Elon Musk. And I was just like, how come everything is about Elon Musk on Twitter? And I understand because he's trying to self-promote himself because he might be having some political thoughts or whatever, you know what I mean? Like, people don't just do things out of nowhere. A guy doesn't just lose $44 billion because he doesn't have ulterior motives. His people told him that it was a losing bid, whatever, you know what I mean? So nothing against Elon, but I didn't like that about Twitter. That I didn't change anything. I didn't start following anybody different or anything. But then all of a sudden, my feed was nothing but Elon Musk here, Elon Musk everywhere. And then the Ukrainian war, everything was like Vladimir Putin here, Putin there, Putin there, Putin there. And I was just like, okay, so this is like basically all I never wanted to know about Elon Musk and Vladimir Putin. Now I know it. You know what I mean? So I didn't like that. Just like, I don't like when I see something, an algorithm tweaked so quickly in front of my bare eyes. And it was very easy for me to do so because I had very little followers and I followed very little people, like very few people. So of course, my circle was very small, so I was used to seeing the same kind of posts over and over again, the same kind of few people that I always wanted to watch. I always watched because they were so few. And then all of a sudden, everything was Elon Musk and Vladimir Putin and Tucker Carlson. And I was just like, what? I don't follow any of these people. It was funny. because in my Twitter I only had like music stuff at that point. But whatever. I'm not complaining about anything. The most different from the Ultra to all the other Fenders is how consistent each string, the vibration. Yeah, and now that you mentioned that, another thing that is very different from the Ultra to the other two Strats that I have, it's how resonant it feels in your body. There's like a low end resonance, like a lot of bass it feels in your body. That always caught my attention. It feels like it's bassier, and then it sounds heavy too. You know, it's a very nice, thick sounding guitar. And I love these contours just feel so good in my body. Each string produces, the sound in each string is like so balanced. That's why I like to say this is the most balanced. I did like a comparison between this noiseless and the noiseless, like the classic noiseless. And that's sort of what I was saying, that these are so balanced. The tone. The weight in yours is a problem. How much is weight? 3.9. Wow, that's like almost like a Les Paul. Right? Am I right? Because I don't do kilos too much. We use pounds here for guitars. But I want to say that you're looking like almost like a 9-pounder over there, right? .9 kilos. Let's see, I'm gonna look it up. Mine is in pounds, it's 8 pounds 4 ounces. So it is heavy for a Strat, but it doesn't feel heavy for some reason. I love this guitar. And when you used to set up your Ultra, what do you set it up on the bridge, the radius? Because since it's a compound, do you do it ends up like at 14. Do you do 16 on the bridge or do you do 14 on the bridge? Yeah, yours was heavy and you sold it for that. I would have sold it too, man. I don't like a heavy guitar. But they do feel heavy and solid. But there's something I don't know about the way guitars are balanced. The ratio of weight that you have in the neck compared to the weight that you have in the body. I feel like it does have an influence on how heavy you feel the guitar is, because this one is 8.4 pounds, right? But when I'm playing, and my other Strat, my green one, is 7.15, so almost 8. And this one feels lighter when I put it on my lap. Just because I feel like this one has more balanced neck to body ratio, and the other one I feel like it's more body heavy. So all the weight rests with the center of gravity and the weight rests in a smaller portion of your body, basically, or something like that. I definitely need to raise this high E. And little piggy, today's the day. The B is still very slinky. There's something about the way this neck just fits in your hand, right? You did 1.5 millimeter plectrum method for the radius. Oh, okay. Yeah. I feel like that's sort of like what I have here, but I do it with the gauge. I think I do 1.5 in this one. Let's see. Yeah, right now I have 1.25 on the E, on the high E, and 125 on that. Yeah, I have 125 on all the high ones. Well, I have 125 everywhere, actually. Yeah, I have 125 everywhere. That neck, the low E, it feels too low for me for the way that I hit it, the strings. This feels good. Let's see what the radius gauge says about this situation. Let's see. Let's try 14 and see what happens with 14. Let's see. Yeah, definitely. According to the radius at 14, my low A and E are too muted at 14. I mean, according to that means that I am not at 14. Let's see what am I. And I think this might be the factory settings, because if there's something that I got lazy with this guitar was like do a proper setup, because I was just like, oh, this is just good enough. Maybe I changed the action and that's when I messed it up. But okay, guess I'm doing 16. But 16 is not working right, I don't think. I think we're gonna try to do 14. And I'm gonna follow my friend Jordan, because if you're doing it on the 12th fret, you probably are doing it at 14 then. And you love your guitar, so your settings have to be good for sure. And I am not really that picky about settings. I really, since I come from like a drum mindset, I do things a little too hard. So yeah, you're doing 14. Okay, let's do that then. Let me find the tools. And that will be the last thing I'm gonna do in this live. Because then the little ones are gonna wake up looking for the dada. Little ones. You gotta love your little ones. Okay, let's see. This is Telly. And this is the Ultra. Would you believe if I say I never have I ever put that whammy bar in this guitar? Compound radius is 10 to 14. Yeah, so 14 you're good to go. Yeah, I just heard like, you know, these people have all these theories and I don't have time to try them all. Because all these people, like I've heard people that say, yeah, if it's compounding, you start at 10 and then you go to 14, then by the bridge you have to be around 16. But now I don't believe that. I feel like if I practice, it doesn't feel like that. At least with my guitar, that worked. That mentality didn't work with my guitar. So I want to say that that's what I did. I feel like just 14 is going to be perfect. And I trust my brother Jordan over here. Yeah. So I'm going to do, let's see. Quarter turns at a time. But quarter tones up, not down. Okay. That was good. Okay. Yeah, I guess I was trying to do Ingrid Malmsteen with the action over here. Floating guitar. Scallop. Okay, now let's hear this. Much more uniform. Okay, now let's tune again. The tremolo is good on this guitar. I had it not that much floating, just a little. Therefore, taking the screw in this. Yep, I have the same way. I literally just have it right over the body. If I show you, it's like, just like, let's see. It's like you can put something. It is floating. Like if I do it backward, like, you know, to make the pitch higher. I love it like that. To me, that's the sound of a Strat. If I don't have it like that, it doesn't sound like a Strat. In my little way of thinking, when I want to choose a Strat, right? In my little checklist, I need that little springy. A friend of mine did put the fourth spring and it has more stable. Yeah, I've heard that. And that's how the PRS comes, with that little fourth spring. And I wonder if that has to do anything with the stability of it. There you go, my brother Jordan knew it. I just flip it to 14 and it's just perfect now. So definitely that 16 theory, in my experience, debunked. Wow, the intonation, right? So good, man. I can't believe it. So good, wow. Don't you just love changing strings? Love this. I have oily fingers. You say the tremolo on the PRS is even more precise and stable. Yeah, I like that tremolo on the PRS. Wow. It's like, 25 and a half scale inch length, but it just feels like butter. Now I just need to learn how to play guitar. All right, yeah, that was awesome, guys. I appreciate you tons. There's still 5 people, all phantoms. I know you guys are gonna warm up to me, and then we're gonna start talking a little bit more like my friend Jordan over here. Don't ever feel like you're like assaulting the word. Like I know that some people are shy, and I'm one of them. I'm one of you. And sometimes you just feel like you don't want to be intervening or something. Go for it. That's exactly why I'm here. I want to be just like this guitar camaraderie, you know what I mean? Like friends finding friends on the internet, just hanging out on a regular Wednesday or Tuesday, Monday, Friday, whatever day it is. But so like as a closing note, because I definitely have to jet out. My babies are about to come out. Definitely mission accomplished. I'm thankful for every single one of you. Let me show you what we're going to be doing on the next episode, because I'm going to have to be coming live to do my other guitar. I have to do this little setup in my table, which is where I have like usually my keyboard. So I'd rather just do as much as I can, get it out of the way. So my next client, it's going to be this element right here. So you might want to up on the next episode. We're going to be doing a little bit of a tune-up on this guitar, right? My Fender American Pro 2, which I really like. This guitar is awesome. Of course, if you have the Ultra, you want the Ultra. I like the Ultra better. But for example, this one, when I bought it, the setup was so bad. And that was the first thing I did, a great setup. So of course, I loved it ever since. See, and in this one, for example, I didn't have that problem in the radius because this is easy. You know, it's a 9.5, done. Boom, deal. This one, the problem that it has, and I found on Amazon the solution for it. It's like if the little screws are out. So of course they scratch you a little bit. But you know, it doesn't really bother me too much. Like my hands are rough in that area, so it doesn't really bother me too much. But just like as a luxury upgrade, maybe I buy those $5 little screws and change it there just so that it's like flush and it's nice. Yeah, I feel like if I were to compare it right now that I just got out of the Ultra, the difference between the Ultra neck and this neck is that this neck has a little bit more shoulder in the bottom part, and it goes a little bit further deep towards you in the very center when the skunk stripe is. But it's a very comfortable guitar. It keeps you on my toes a little bit more. That maybe for practicing, I like this. Have to be a little bit more precise. And the frets are a little bit taller and skinnier. So if by pressing, I sort of bend a little bit. But beautiful guitar. So next time we're gonna be doing this one. I don't know if I might do it tonight. It's because I really want to get done with all this part of my life and just like start making music again, because I really need to pump a bunch of songs out. Ooh, April 30th already. Anyway, my friends, I appreciate you, every single one of you. I appreciate you, Jerfton, precisely for being here all this time. Oh, let me read you a couple last comments. Intonation has also to do with the even same frets on the guitar. Yeah, not only the evenness, but the how round the crown it is, they say, because the flatter the fret, they say that space that you can press it, throws your intonation out. So yeah, that's a good thing to point out about that Ultra. I feel like that might be the biggest difference, how they treat their necks and their frets. They really finish them. They don't stop halfway. My fret rocker did not move one small hair inch on the Ultra. Wow, that's amazing. Okay, bro, you are so on point. I love your comments, because that's the same thing I found out with my Ultra. When I was checking every single fret, they're all perfect. Then I noticed in this one, in the B and E string, in the 7th fret, 7th or 8th, I'm not really that sure, it's a little bit tall. In my Mexican Fender, the 12th and 15th fret and the 7th fret are a little bit tall. So the cheapest has 3 or 4 frets tall. Then the American Pro has 1 fret tall, and then the Ultra has 0 frets tall. So yeah, you are so on point, man. But yeah, without going further down any more rabbit holes, I appreciate you, Jordan, for Germany, very especially for being here every single stream. I come to expect you now, so don't let me down, my brother. All right, my friends, I appreciate every single one of you. Watch videos, have fun, enjoy life, and be nice to one another, because you never know what some other person might be going through, and maybe you want to be that little glimmer of light in their life. You know, sometimes something nice that somebody says to you in the middle of the street can make your day. So whatever, my friends, I appreciate you, every single one of you. Until next time, bye-bye. Boing.